As we kick things off today, the Nebraska Department of Agriculture is urging caution as the state has confirmed a case of highly pathogenic avian influenza. It was detected earlier this week in a wild bird in Lincoln. We were joined earlier this week by the state veterinarian Dr. Dudley to break down this news. What can you tell us about this confirmation case?
Well, this case was found. This sick bird was found in Lincoln, and we tested it for high pathogenic avian influenza, and it was confirmed positive. The thing that this does is really point out that the virus is in our flyways, and we have to be protecting ourselves.
I was going to say, it's probably not much of a surprise that surrounding states have been confirming cases in backyard and even commercial flocks at this point, right?
Correct. Several of our neighbors, including Iowa and Missouri and South Dakota, have already been battling this virus that started on the East Coast back in January. So it is not a surprise that the virus would show up in birds, and we want to protect our birds, our backyard birds and our commercial birds in the state of Nebraska.
The last time this was detected in Nebraska was 2015. What were some of the lessons that we learned from 2015, and how are you able to apply them here in 2022?
One of the big lessons learned was we thought our commercial poultry had one of the best biosecurity of any of our livestock species, which they did at the time, but we also learned that that wasn't good enough biosecurity, and so we've been able to ramp up the biosecurity over the last 7 years, and we hope we have enough biosecurity in our commercial flocks to prevent the spread.
Nebraska has unique poultry ownership of sorts. There are only a few players involved in the space. Does that make it easier as compared to some other states that might have more poultry production and more players in that space?
Yes, I think it really does make it easier because we can work with a smaller group of leadership in our poultry industry, and we can get the message all the same, plus we can make sure our biosecurity plans are all together, and we can be working together to help each other prevent this virus.
So at the time of this conversation has been confirmed in a wild bird in Nebraska, but your message is out there to people that have backyard flocks, but also those commercial poultry owners. Does that message vary, or is it enhanced biosecurity for both those groups?
It really is basically the same, that we need enhanced biosecurity for both groups. Biosecurity looks a little different on commercial property or commercial facilities versus backyard, but the message is still the same. You want to do all you can to keep the virus out by reducing traffic on and off your farms, by keeping things clean, wearing clean clothes in and out of the houses, and those types of things. So there is a lot of similarities.
What are some of the warning signs somebody should be looking for?
One of the biggest things, it often starts with a death loss. Death loss is the birds die very suddenly from this virus, or they can. But oftentimes we can also have things like decreased egg production, decreased water consumption, respiratory symptoms associated with the birds. And so those are things that we really want people to be paying attention to.
Mm-hmm. And if somebody does detect something like that, is it a phone call to the Nebraska Department of Agriculture their first step?
If they work with a veterinarian, local veterinarian very closely, they certainly can reach out to their local veterinarian and have a conversation. But otherwise, we should certainly welcome phone calls into the Nebraska Department of Agriculture or to USDA. USDA has a sick bird hotline that you can call into as well. So we want to get the information as soon as possible.